What's up YouTube, I'm just another guy and welcome back to Gibraltar United. So here we are, the 8th of February, and we are returning to the Europa League for the first time in 2 years. Now, before we go into the game, we've got quite a bit to go through off the pitch, so let's go through that. But just a quick little note, I was really disappointed last video that we didn't get a result against Arsenal. We didn't go through to the first knockout round of the Champions League. But I really should have put it into perspective and realised that actually to get through to a knockout round of a competition is still an incredible achievement for this club. This is only the third time in our history we've got past the Champions League group stages. The second time we've got into the Europa League. So I shouldn't be too disappointed. We're still just a growing, developing team. Third place and above should still be the target, you know. It is still the target. And I said going into it was the target. I was extremely disappointed not to get second. But when you can't beat, you know, teams away from home, and, you know, we struggled to beat Fenerbahce. You know, maybe we didn't even deserve to get third. So overall, I should just be happy that we just managed to get to the, you know, have European football after Christmas. But yeah, let's go through the stuff off the field. So just going to briefly mention Gibraltar national team. No manager yet. Don't know what's going on there. I don't know what they're playing at. They need to just appoint me and get on with it. Maybe the only other possible thing I can see happening is because the National League division, the Nations League division, sorry, that ended with 6 defeats out of 6. So all I can think is when the Europa League, the European Championship qualifiers come up, then they might decide to employ someone. Hopefully that will be me. But yeah, that's the only bit of news about Gibraltar. Now, the club itself, we've made a few transfers. We're going to go through them. Silvio has picked up a lot of interest from clubs. But not really. I mean, it's 115k as you can see there, 47k up front, 70k after 12 months, which is more than we actually paid for him. But I'm actually looking to keep hold of Silvio just for a little bit longer. I may sell him in the future though. But yeah, outwise, nothing really important happened. It was just a lot of loans. In fact, no one there is noteworthy of mentioning, so I'm not going to mention anyone. But yeah, we brought one guy in for 69k, Antonio Calabresa, I believe it's pronounced maybe. 32 years of age, Italian left midfielder. Decent player, not incredible, but he's only here till the end of the season. Carlos picked up an injury, which actually keeps him out for, I believe, one of these matches. Might even be both of them for against Lazio. So I was like, yeah, look, we'll just sign this left midfielder. He's not great, you know, which is why he's only here for 6 months. But I saw the fee that I could get him for. It was, you know, pretty cheap. Ended up negotiating for 69,000, which again was actually in the range that the scout quoted. So I was like, yeah, you know what? For 6 months worth of work, which is what he's going to do, I'll get him. I don't really mind paying him a large wage because that's what I feel I'm giving him. He was only about 4k a week in his previous club. So, you know, to be 10.5k and actually wanted like something like 14. He wanted so much money. But I was like, look, we need a left mid kind of desperately now. We were approaching the end of the transfer window. We signed him on the 22nd. The transfer window shut on the 24th. So I was like, look, I just need to get someone in. This guy's the best I can currently see. Let's just get him. And that's what we did. He will be playing today, so fingers crossed that he can perform. Because he is a mercenary and you never really know, like, you know, if they're going to perform. But yeah, that's the only bit of transfer news. But another bit of news today. We're going to go to Africa, and I'm pretty sure you know why we're heading there. Someone picked up an award. So, BBC African Footballer of the Year went to Musa Sanogo. CAF Footballer of the Year went to Musa Sanogo. Sanogo picked up Footballer of the Year for both of the associations that hand out Footballer of the Year awards in Africa. He beat Diallo, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. Look at this guy. He beat this guy who's on £180,000 a week at Manchester United, who is worth 30 million and who has so far this year scored 14 goals in the Premier League. I mean, he was signed for 41.5 million. We got Sanogo for a free transfer. And he's not, look at his stats, he's nowhere near as good as him. But he's apparently the best footballer in Africa. Striker of the Year also went to Musa Sanogo. No, obviously, you know, if he's picking up Footballer of the Year, he deserves Footballer of the Striker of the Year as well. He was in the starting 11 as well. Again, looking at these teams, because of course, he was African Striker of the Year a few years back. But just looking at some of the teams, you know, Juventus, Southampton, Arsenal, Lille, Liverpool, Aberdeen. A few actual, in fact, there's an Ivorian club in there. May get a cheeky little report. I think it's, I say Ivorian club. This might actually not be. If he wants to come up. Actually, no, it's a French League 2 team. But yeah, we'll get a cheeky report on him. He doesn't seem like he's worth a lot. And also this guy as well. We'll get a cheeky little report on you. Why not? You're only 20. But yeah, it was great for Sanogo to pick up that recognition, and it didn't actually affect his value too much, but it's just really, really nice to see that one of your players is being recognised on a continental stage. That's massive. Maybe in the future we could get a few other people in there. But yeah, but that's all the bit of news I really want to talk about. We're going to go into today's game against Lazio, and fingers crossed. So 10,000 people at Europa Point capacity stadium. Lazio playing what I would call an Italian tactic, a 5-3-2. That's always what I imagine. That's always looking back anyway at my life. I'd always associate that with Italian football, the 5 in defence, which is still true to some capacity today. But yeah, let's run through the team and run through the starting lineup. So we've changed up the tactic just a little bit. Changed up a few player roles. We're now playing a ball-playing defender, in defence, and a centre defender instead of 2 just bog standard limited defenders. Changed up the role a little bit. Hopefully, see a little bit of benefit. See some benefit from changing it. But yeah, in goal we have Cox. Armada is at right back. Bakayoko is our ball-playing defender. Meti is our other defender, and Muster is our left back. Carragher is our right mid. Marola and Sidibe is centre mids. And Calabresa is our left mid. And up front, we have Silvio and Marcos Lopez. So, where's Sanogo? Where he is he's currently in Africa. I actually don't have a clue where he is. But he's currently with the Ivory Coast. He is in the African Cup of Nations where they went all the way to the final. He actually scored the first goal in a semi-final comeback. So that's really good. So yeah, Sanogo is helping his team currently. Wow, this guy's scored so many goals. Who is he? Oh, he's playing for Lazio, so he's... So yeah, we're missing a key striker, but it looks like Lazio are missing one as well. But yeah, Sanogo is with them. He won't return due to the fact he's playing in the final. The final is being held on the 11th of February, which is in between these 2 games, the first and second leg. So he'll most likely return for the second leg, Sanogo. But, I don't even know if he'll be fit by then because, international football and tournament football really at international level can really take it out of your players. You're playing a lot of games in a very short space of time. For example, look at Sanogo's condition right now. It's 72% and he'll have to play another game in 2 days' time. He'll be shattered when he comes back. So I'm not too sure whether he'll even make an appearance at this stage of the competition, which is a shame because we really do need Sanogo. But it also means we just got 2 youngsters, Silvio and Marcos Lopez, who actually last year were our backup striking partnership. Now they're starting today in the Europa League with Giselle on the bench. But yeah, big pressure, big responsibility on them guys' shoulders up front. Hopefully they'll, do well. You may be surprised to see Sidibe is actually not with the Ivory Coast national team, and I can tell you that he's actually not been picked for selection. This new man who come in, the new manager, he hasn't picked Sidibe at all since he was in charge. And we just have a quick look at their other midfield options. It doesn't really make sense. Sidibe is probably a little bit better than some of these guys. So, it's a positive for us. It's a blessing for us. He's not picked Bakayoko or Meti either, because if he'd have taken all of our Ivorian players to the African Cup of Nations, we'd have a different centre mid in the pitch. You'll probably have Nelson Vasconcelos in the midfield instead of Sidibe, and then in our defence partnership, it'd probably be Roma Perez and Amari, and that's not really good enough for this stage of the competition. So, so I guess you win some, you lose some. Really, with player selection. So one guy's got to get a number. Antonio Calabresa. He hasn't made an appearance yet for the club. There was a game before this match against Britannia, but I rested up my team. Of course, we're playing on a Sunday. We're playing again on a Thursday. We're playing again on a Sunday. We're playing again on a Thursday. I needed to rest up my players where it's all possible, or at least the starting 11 for today's game. So I did it against Britannia, which meant our new left mid hasn't had time to really gel into the team. This will be his first real opportunity to do so. And fingers crossed, it works. He doesn't speak the language. In fact, he speaks the same language as Morella. I probably should have played Morella out on the left, but whatever. We did get a new guy, actually, to do these tactical things. We're going to get Angelo Castellesi, who actually cost us like 30,000 because we had to get him off, I think it was Palma or Palma. I can't remember. It was an Italian team. He's an Italian coach. But yeah, I saw him out there. He was probably the best guy we could get who could do opposition instructions. So I got it. I got him in. I was like, yeah, we're going to get this guy. Also tried to get Eden Hazard as a coach, but he is having none of it. He wanted like 5k a week, and I could only offer 1.4. So yeah, and also tried getting Chris Boyd as a coach, but again, he wanted 3k a week, and I could only offer 1.4, so we couldn't agree a deal. But there you go, starting off the game, Lazio are on the attack, having a corner and a few crosses, but no great delivery yet. Musta back to Meti, clearing it forward, trying to find Lopez. Can't, but we're going to get it back. Musta tackles his own player and the defender there, but still can't completely win it back. Bakayoko trying to find Lopez up front. No one really getting a hold of this game right now, but they're going to get a chance, and it's a wasted opportunity. It looked like it outside of the striker's boot, causing it to go wide. But yeah, in that highlight there, no one could really get a hold of the game. Actually, Carragher's flicked it through, and wow, Carragher making the opportunity for himself, but not finishing it. Let's hope we don't have to say that too many more times in this game. Or maybe I should. Maybe the fact that we're missing chances means at least we're getting chances. But that was a great opportunity to give ourselves the lead in this important home tie. Musta whipping it in, and Lopez, oh my God, so unlucky not to find the back of the net. In fact, something I should mention, the last time Silvio and Lopez both played up front was in the Senior Premier League Cup semi-final against Britannia, and we won that game 10-1 with Silvio getting a hat-trick, a second-half hat-trick, and Lopez getting 2 goals as well. And in fact, Carragher gives us the lead while I'm talking about that. 14 minutes in, David Carragher makes up for his missed opportunity earlier on in the game by just about keeping it in play, and then Silvio does really well there, I think, or maybe the defender helped it on his way to Carragher, and Carragher on his weaker left foot slots it past the goalkeeper. Keeper was poor, he didn't stay up big, he didn't stay up long enough, and as a result it went over his head, and Carragher makes it 1-0. Gibraltar United beating Lazio currently. Well done. So the winner of this game, of course, the winner of this tie, I should really say, will play either Dortmund or I can't quite remember, but I'm thinking it'll most likely be Dortmund. Although I could be wrong, you're never really sure. This late into a save or this far into a save, big teams aren't exactly, or big teams might not be big teams anymore. For example, I think, I'm going to say this, they may not be seen as a big team, but a former Premier League team, Leicester City, I believe, are now a League One team in England. It just shows people do fall and drop and come back and stuff. Musta to Sidibe, trying to get another maybe good delivery in or go himself. Calabresa trying to whip one in, unable to find a red and white shirt, and he actually earns us a penalty. Well done by the new player. Doing really well on the edge of the box. And now Sidibe has a chance to convert a penalty and give ourselves a 2-0 lead. Maybe seen as wow, good penalty from Sidibe. I don't know. I can't remember the last time he's missed one, if at all. It would be an interesting fact to look up. But yeah, the lead may be undeserved because Lazio have had a lot more chances. Actually, no, I can't really say that, actually. We've had a lot of chances. We've taken them. 6 shots, 5 on target. We're being very prolific when we go forward. But Lazio just are not. And as a result, they're currently not scored, and they're currently 2-0 down. They've hit the crossbar post now. One of the two. They've hit the woodwork, let's say that. And still, Lazio are unable to get a breakthrough against us. Maybe they are missing their main man up front, the Ivorian striker who is scoring all of Ivory Coast's goals so far at the African Cup of Nations, or majority of them anyway. So come on, Gibraltar United. Just need to tighten up defensively. I should probably say that actually in a team talk, but it's so close to half-time now, there's no real point. So yeah, tell them you are pleased with their efforts, because really, we are. This is brilliant, pretty evenly fought match. Both teams have had chances, but we're taking them, and that is brilliant. The fact that I can say we're taking chances, especially when, our front two are not a normal front two. Okay, neither of them have scored, but at least we're creating and getting opportunities. Amanda, out on the right-hand side, trying to run inwards, finds Carragher yet again on the right-hand side, and would that count as Silvio's goal? It does. Silvio gets himself a goal. 3-0 Gibraltar United. And it came from Carragher yet again. Carragher's been the main man in this game, tearing that, I think, left back apart, beating him with a change of speed, a change of pace. The centre-back was drawn out of position, who should be marking Silvio. As a result, Silvio is open in the box, and despite the fact a few or maybe one lucky deflection, it goes in the back of the net, it rolls in an open goal. So this has been better than I expected. I honestly thought we'd struggle a little bit against Lazio, just even with our strongest team. And, you know, with the few people missing, or Sonogo missing most importantly, I definitely thought, you know, I was like, oh, don't know where the goals are going to come from. Normally, if he doesn't score, we struggle to find one or two. Sense it was coming. It's been coming all game, really. Lazio get themselves a goal back in it, but disappointed to still see an away goal go in. You know, even if it looks like it's been coming all game. You know, you never want to see one go in, especially one that could be really important. So actually, 15 minutes to go, I should say. I'm just going to I'm just going to tell the defence to, I'll tell everyone actually. Just tell them to concentrate. You know, I want them to make sure they're still on it, you know, still on their game. I probably should have said that at 3-0 actually, but I need to make sure they're still alert. They're still aware of the danger and the threat that Lazio contain and how easily they can make this 3-2. It looks like they might get another chance right now. And they do. And you know what? There you go. They've made it 3-2. They feel that we feel it was offside, but we've presented them so many opportunities. It might have been offside. I wasn't really looking at the player, in all honesty, when the highlight was shown. But from 3-0 comfortable to 3-2 shaky position. We need another goal, ideally, before the end of this game. For us. We need another goal for us, not to them. Oh, my God. If we throw away a 3-0 lead, look how many clear-cut opportunities we've presented them with. It's almost like we don't want to win today. Oh, my God. Over the crossbar. Bakayoko, not having a good game. Maybe I shouldn't play the ball-playing defender. I'm not sure. I might have a little rethink of the tactic. I'm constantly rethinking the tactic now. I think it may need to be improved in certain areas. Good, a bit of defending there from the midfield. Headed away by Metti, I believe it was. But still not completely cleared. Bakayoko clearing it forward now. This is properly cleared to Silvio. Back to Giselle. Oh, it's Sean. Silvio. Sidibe actually can't get the rebound in. That was our chance to restore at least a 2-goal lead. Sidibe with a free kick. Hits the wall. Out wide to Carragher. He'll look to whip this one in. Played too far back from everyone else. And maybe actually it'll be Lazio with one last chance. One last roll of the dice. And it's a good save from Cox. Thank God that flag came up. Luis Henrique, yeah. Missing or being offside. And as a result, his chance being ruled out. 9 clear-cut opportunities we've allowed Lazio to get. And that can't be the same in the next game, or they will tear us to pieces. So, yeah, we did. You know, it was a good attacking performance, but we let ourselves down in the last 15 minutes of the match, and that's actually really worrying, because that's when you don't want to be conceding your goals. You know, because once the team starts getting momentum, it could be too little too late, you know, for you to try and stop it. But yeah, I'll meet you guys back for the second leg, where I think we'll have hopefully we'll have a good 90 minutes in store. For us, anyway. Not for Lazio. We don't want them winning. Alright, guys, so we're back for the Lazio game. We have just won the Premier League Cup. We won a 2-0 narrow affair against... I say narrow. It was just the scoreline was narrow. You know, when it's 2-0... Well, when it's 1-0, you know, a team can always, no matter how dominated they've been throughout a game, they can always nick a goal back. And it's even at 2-0, you know, if Lincoln had got one back, I always thought that they could maybe potentially get a second. But we won the game. You know, the second team performed really well. You know, credit to them where credit is due. You know, they really did perform. One thing that probably limited or hindered Lincoln is that they do loan in a lot of our players, or they have a lot of our players in on loan. So I do think their team was slightly rotated today than what they would have been playing normally in the league. But I do see a few familiar names. Miguel Fernandez is one of them. Maybe there are a few more, but again, they seem to sign a lot of my players, but I don't really monitor too much. But yeah, it was just nice to win the game. You know, 5,000 people turned up as well, capacity stadium. Overall, just a really good affair. And like I say, for the youngsters, it was really, really nice as well. You know, with Simon Hope, who's someone who come from our youth system, was in the team. In fact, he was the only player in the whole team whole starting lineup to actually officially come for our youth system, and he put in a really encouraging performance. So he was the worst performer out on the pitch for us, but it was encouraging because he's nowhere near the standard of the players around him, and he's still, pulling a positive display. So yeah, let's get into this match. So 38,924 people, so not even just over half the stadium is being filled. So that says something about I think what people value the competition we're currently in, and did I say A or B, or did I say 1? Whatever. And 2, it also says that how the Lazio fans are currently viewing me, or our team anyway, in terms of reputation. So they're not really too infused about coming in and playing, and plus they're losing, so that's obviously going to affect the attendance as well. So fingers crossed we can get the win today. So Musa Sonogo does return to the team. As you can see, he's only at 88% condition, but I really do want to put him back in the team. I think it'll be, or could be, really important that we have him in the squad. Also as well, I'm just making a few changes to the bench right now. Carlos returns from injury, so I'll put him on the bench. He's not too fit. I won't really risk him. Antonio Calabrese, whatever. He actually didn't play too badly in the previous match, so I'll keep him in the team for today. Elsewhere, Dan Evans, I'll drop him. I won't play him. And we'll have 2 strikers on the bench because you never know what's going to happen in this game. We may need to push people forward, going for a win near the end. But fingers crossed that won't actually happen. So they reckon we have too much quality for them, and we should be able to build on our 1-goal advantage. Hopefully that will be true. But of course, in the last game, they had so many opportunities, and in the end, it was just a little bit overwhelming for us. We actually crumbled near the end of the game. They've got their guy back, A. Boyle, or Bull. I'm not really sure. It might be an I, it might be an L. They look very similar on this. I think it might be Boil. But yeah, he returns from his international duty as well, but doesn't jump straight in the starting lineup, unlike Sonogo. But Sonogo, best player in Africa, man. I've got to play him. Opposition's instructions need to be done by you. There we go. And let's go. Lazio, Gibraltar United. This is for a place in the second knockout round of the Europa League. That would be where I'd be. Well, I said at the start of the season I'd be expecting quarterfinals, but we've got a relatively tough second knockout round draw, so that would be my minimum expectation, really. And now, readjusting and reevaluating. Sidibe plays it through to Lopez, who's unable to finish his opportunity. Lopez had the first chance of the game last game, I believe, as well, and he missed that. So keeping up to tradition, missing his early opportunities, Lopez, but hopefully we can do what we did last game in the first half anyway, and continue to push and try and get a few goals. So now Lazio have a free kick just in the edge of our half, and a few simple passes, and there you go. Lazio have a 1-0 lead, and Lazio are currently the team going through. Again, we have appeals and stuff. We got for offside. It's mostly our centre mid doing the appealing. But let's have a look at this. Rodriguez played it through. There's nowhere near offside. I don't know why they're appealing. It was just a well-timed run from the player and an equally good pass from the other striker, I believe, who passed it to him. And Rodriguez were being overrun in defence, and it's because they're playing a 3-4-3. But by leaving our 2 guys up front, hopefully we'll overrun them, when we're attacking. Carragher out wide, back to Armada. Whips it in with his weaker left foot. Not a bad cross. Sidibe has been tackled and dispossessed. Meti charging forward, trying to get the ball, and in fact he's caught the whole defence out now, and the goal scorer of the first goal is unable to get his second. Cox with a very good save, a strong, powerful hand getting to the ball and parrying it away. So still fortunate just to be 1-0 Lazio. Cox, I think, picked up a little bit of a knock a second ago. His condition went really low down, especially for a goalkeeper whose conditions normally stay very consistent at high 80s, or 90s, really low 90s, really. So yet again, we survive a little bit of a scare from Lazio. It's still a corner, which is still dangerous. We're currently down to 10 men. Carragher is off the field of play, receiving treatment for an injury that we didn't see. So I think that's why that counter-attack didn't really have much threat to it, because we didn't have the men we would originally have, or the 2 men we'd have forward. Luis Enrique to Rodriguez, and they've tore us apart, and Lazio currently winning 2-1, which means now we have to go out there and score 2 goals if we want to go through. We knew we could come here and get ourselves a 2... Well, actually, we kind of knew we'd have to come here and score 2 goals anyway. But yeah, now that just confirms that. Well, actually, no, we knew we could come here and we could win by 1-0, but now we've got to score 2 goals. Once they scored the first, actually, we knew we had to score 2 anyway. But that just, this confirms it. We definitely need 2 now. Albano. Lazio are building up play really well, and Cox with a good save. I thought he was going to get beaten at his near post. I really did. And I've got to get these guys in at half-time, and I've got to say this, absolutely terrible, extremely poor, nothing really being offered. 2 shots all game, I mean, come on. We performed better than this in the first leg, which means we can perform well against Lazio. Doesn't matter, it shouldn't really make too much of a difference home and away. I mean, I don't know what my club have got this big mental blockage about playing home and away. They just can't do it for some reason. So Dibe to Lopez, and there we go. We get a goal back. It's not offside. Marcos Lopez with his 21st goal of the season in front of the few travelling away fans. And 2-1 back in the game. 1 goal now is needed to pull us back in with a chance of actually going through. It actually forced the game into, or could force the game into extra time if we get the second. It would pull us in the lead and actually pull us through if we got the second goal. So Dibe out wide to Cabalessa, I believe it was. But we're going to make some changes now. Sonogo's not playing particularly well. Neither is Carragher. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to take Antonio Calabaresa off and bring on Carlos. And we'll just do that. We'll hopefully get a team talk done. Depends when this highlight actually ends. Bakayoko. Come on, Bakayoko. That's a simple pass. I've actually... have I changed his role? I can't remember if I did or not. Luis Enrique's offside. Good. All right. All right. Team talk quickly. I need to demand more from these guys back here. They're not playing well, and you need to know that I'm expecting more. And even Sonogo as well. I just need to tell him. I need to see more. I just want to calmly encourage him, and as well calmly encourage you. And we'll just do them team talks for them people. Another highlight, though, straight away after the previous one. Hopefully this will be a chance for us. Bakayoko in defence, out wide to Armada. Playing it around in our defence. We need to, there you go, start moving it forward. We do. Sonogo to Carragher. Carragher, a bit of space on the right-hand side. Plays it into Sidibe. Bang! Sidibe puts it back at 2-2. And we are now back in control of the tie. We're going to go back into a control mentality. And we're actually going to lower the tempo down a little bit more. Just to try and kill the game. Try and draw our length of possession out. We want to try and control the possession even more. To try and frustrate Lazio as much as we can. Defense is playing a little bit better. What we're actually going to do is we're going to take Muster off. We're going to bring Jesse Clark on, make a defensive change. And we're also going to take Musa Sonogo off and bring Silvio on, make another change. What happens is if Lazio score, the game will be forced into extra time and maybe even penalties. So in a way, we have a goal cushion. We know we're not out of the tie, even if we concede one more goal. We're going to the last 5 minutes of the game now, and it's us on the attack. Morella out to Silvio. Carragher out wide. Oh, that was his chance to win us the game, and he couldn't convert it. Sidibe whipping in the corner. Carragher yet again with the ball, trying to play it back in. Not a great cross. And time is ticking away for Lazio now. They're entering injury time of the game. Last 30 seconds. Lazio have a free kick in a dangerous area. We header it away. Lopez playing it forward to Silvio. Silvio's got a little bit of space to run into if he can beat the man. He can't beat the man. And we're just going to kill the game off now. In the corner it goes. And there you go. Full-time whistle, ref. Yes. Get in there. Gibraltar United 2-2. 5-4 in aggregate. We get ourselves through just about into the second knockout round of the Europa League. No, I'm not really too sure how I feel about the away performance. Let's have a little look. Let's go into the actual match stats. I want to see the more match stats. Again, we're giving away a lot of clear-cut opportunities, and a better team take their chances and put themselves ahead. A poor defensive display there, really. Again, still a little bit fortunate just to get through. Senior assistant. There we go. We get Borussia Dortmund in the next round of the Europa League. Let's have a little look at Dortmund. How have they been doing since the start of the game? So, having won the league in 2014-2015, the first season, they then struggled, and they went 7th place 2 years in a row, and they've been a consistent, or almost a consistent Champions League team for a while. They've dropped down a bit recently. Again, they've had a decent run, finishing in the top 4 for the past 4 years. But this year they're struggling a little, find themselves in 5th, a little bit off the pace of the people ahead of them. They have, the French manager in charge. So, yeah, I'm worried about this. I don't really think we have much of a chance of getting anything. Who's this? Silva wants to improve deal for Carlos. No, Carlos isn't getting a new deal. He's leaving at the end of the year. Sonogo is apparently a little tired. When's the actual Dortmund game? It's in a week. No, it's in. What is it? 2 weeks time? Yeah, it's in a week's time. We'll offer Sonogo a week's rest. Try and get him thingy. Actually, I'll just say I'll rest you for the next match. Got some important fixtures. Thanks, boss, but I don't need the rest. I don't appreciate you using that tone of voice for me. What? All right, you know your body better than anyone else. No rest for you. Whatever, we'll play you in the next match and then we'll rest you in the match after. And you're not getting a new deal, Carlos. Piss off. I get this all the time. You've got 6 months left on your deal, I believe, or however many months are left right now. And you're not getting a new one. You shit. I don't want you. Harsh reality of your career. But yeah, big games against Dortmund. We start off away in Germany. I'm not too sure. I might need to develop a new tactic or something, because it really is worrying that we give away so many opportunities. It really, really is worrying. But yeah, I'll have a think about that though. Either way, next time I meet you guys back will be both Dortmund matches. It gives us a decent opportunity, not a great one, but a decent opportunity of getting through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Even if we did get through, I wouldn't really give us much hope of going on to win it. I mean, you've got people like Man City, Liverpool, in there, Schalke, who are 3 or 4-time German champions in a row. I just saw that when we went on the Bundesliga. So, we've got some massive teams in there. I reckon we'd really struggle to go any further past the quarterfinals. But still, we're going to try and aim as high as we can. So, until then, guys, peace out.